Hi, Deborah Ripple here. So, it's the next day after making my first batch of jelly, cherry jelly. I'm going to go ahead and open one up and see how I did. Alright, so it feels like the seal is tight. Look there. Feels firm. So let me make some sourdough and test it out. Okay, I have a little bit of, I can't believe it's not butter. Right? I like the texture. Spreadable. It's a little chunky because I wanted it that way. I didn't completely juice it out. I kept the skins and just pureed it. Yeah, that looks great. I think all in all, for my first time, not too shabby. Let's see how it tastes. My goodness. That is really good. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. My first batch ever of making any type of jelly. Sweet cherry jelly. Good stuff. Yep, definitely a new hobby. I think the next batch I want to make though is stevia. So without the sugar. That way there's an option. So nothing really exciting today other than my cherry jelly this morning. That was so yummy. It's been mostly a paperwork day, so really not a lot to show you. I am going to make this pork roast, so that will be really tasty for dinner. So I guess I will just continue with you tomorrow with a lot more to do. Angie, Patty, Angie, Patty. Good morning. The next day here, Deborah Ripple. As you can see, I am in front of my tomatoes, and they are doing very well. I still have the netting on for the deer, but a lot of cherry tomatoes coming in. And I already ate two of the golden tomatoes, cherry tomatoes there. They were so sweet. It was just so delicious. I added it into my salad. Some lettuce from my garden, and it was very yummy. So today I need to water the flower beds. I need to finish up in my fairy garden over there and plant some more flowers. So it's going to be a busy day in the garden. And I had also picked some blueberries for my breakfast this morning. And I almost have a couple raspberries ready. You can see them there. They're beautiful. Alexa's yelling something. I don't know what she's yelling. So, but on this side, I have some more tomatoes, but these are not the cherry tomatoes. These are the celebrity. So they seem to be doing very well. As you can see, I have really cut back all the suckers and unneeded leaves so I can really pay attention to the tomatoes themselves. So it's a little overcrowded over here. I did pull a few of the smaller tomato vines that didn't really get enough sun. So it hasn't been very sunny here the last few days. We need some more sun. I definitely need more sun for my Walla Wallas. So I don't think they are in the best place here. They're only getting a half day of sun. I think they need more sun. I mean, they are growing. I did pull one up in the back to kind of see where they're at. Patty, you're not supposed to be over there. Patty. Patty. Yeah, my cat's over there. They're really cool neighbors, though. And as you can see, my zucchini is, after I had trimmed them all down and planted a few more, the male flowers are coming up. So hopefully this time the male flowers will be able to pollinate the female, and I can get some of the zucchini going. The others just dropped off and died. And I think the main problem is it actually doesn't get sunny here in Washington, believe it or not, until like 3, 4, 5 o'clock. The flowers open up in the morning for the bees, and then they close up later in the afternoon or early afternoon, and then the bees are out. So, but the flowers are already closed. So I'm trying to keep them in the sun as much as possible, and you know, I may have to self-pollinate if I can get some of the females up in time to actually have flowers on them so that I can pollinate them with the male flowers. Come on, Patty. Come back home. Come on, Patty. Come on. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. As you can see, my broccoli is still going. I've already had taken down, I think, 3 heads of broccoli. See, 1, 2, 3 heads of broccoli that I've already eaten. And I have 1 more small head left. So that's doing good. And the corn is really starting to pop up. The cabbage is still slow going because if it's not the snails, then it's the caterpillars getting to them. So I'm not having the best luck with the cabbage. But we will see. And I have some carrots probably getting ready to pull out soon. I don't want to do it too early. Oh, this one's getting eaten by something, but let's pull it out and see how it was doing before it got eaten. Oh, yeah. So that's only about a half a carrot there, because they are the short carrots. All right, let me go ahead and see if I can get my cat back over. So I got Mangy in. Patty, on the other hand, is going to be harder. Because this stupid cat, he goes over the fence, but he can't figure out that he can come back over the fence. It's crazy. Whew. Tired walking up that big hill holding that cat. Patty! Patty, Patty. Come on, buddy. So I got some new leggings. I just love them. They are so me. Look at Comic Pop. Boom, bang, pop. I'm a big comics lover, especially Star Wars comics. Their dog will chase him over. All right, well, I better get started. Check out my bottom garden. I really haven't had to do much tending to this one. The acorn squash seems to be doing well, and a couple corns, but the broccolis are turning out really small, and I believe it was the snails ate all of my cucumbers. So I have yet to plant more cucumbers in my new raised bed. Just haven't had the time. So, but I'll try and make the time today. As you can see, the acorn squash is coming up, and the corn. See, I put some eggshells in there, so supposedly the snails don't like to go across eggshells. I also had put in some cayenne and ground cinnamon. This might be a little rough for, I have to do a little lighter. It's a little heavier water on there for them. There's not going to be a lot of room for the acorn, so I'm hoping for just a couple. I think next year I'll plant more up in the larger raised bed. We'll see how these do here first. So these also retain water very well, so it has a tendency to overwater, and I know that because some mushrooms popped up. So I think the drainage isn't as good as it's supposed to be. But I keep replanting stuff around this one corn, and it keeps getting eaten, so I'm just going to leave him all by himself. I gave up. So he looks a little in distress anyway, so I don't think he's going to make it. So, and you can see these broccolis here are on the small side. Oh, look it right there. There's one of the culprits. You little shit. Get over here. Oh, see? Bad snail. Here, go enjoy that over there. I should do like we did when we were kids and put salt on them. But I was told they could still survive that. They just shed the outside of their sliminess. Anyway, those broccolis are not going to be very big, but I can just add them to a full head that I have from up in the larger raised beds. And I'll just figure out what does best in this area. So it's about 3/4 of the day of sun when the sun is out. So we shall see. Not a big deal. Yeah, not enough sun here, I think, for some of these crops. But this year will be a learning curve. I'm okay with that. Let's check out my pear tree. All right, looking good. I need to trim and de-weed it down there. But the leaves look nice and healthy. It's continuing to grow. If you remember in the first video I did of it, it was on the small side, had no leaves. Looks like it got a few extra branches. So it's doing well. I can't wait. Bartlett pears are one of my favorite, and I digest them very well. So what did you think about my new jelly? My first time making jelly. Oh, there he is again. Patty, you've got to figure out how to come over, dude. Huh? Only you can get yourself over. Come on, you got to jump. You gotta be... So I got Patty onto the other side of the other neighbors. He seems to get back home a lot easier that way, but now he's roaming in the fir trees there. So, a lot of Douglas fir around here. So as I was talking about the cabbage, so the cabbage is growing fine. There's some larger ones over here. But it's just not coming to head in the middle. So I don't know if it's just not the right time, or if the snails are getting to the middle instead of just the leaves. So if you have any all-natural suggestions for the snails, you know, comment below. It seems like the snails are my biggest contender. And I remember growing up, my dad used to do, in Buena Park he did. I don't know so much in Huntington Beach, but when I was in grade school, he would grow tomatoes in the garden. And I remember those big green caterpillars? I think I showed you some on my Facebook last year in my tomato garden, because that thing was just enormous. I mean the tomato plant. It was amazing. It came from a pot, and the thing grew like practically down the whole side of the house. It was just amazing. And I didn't even fertilize it or anything, and it made the best tomatoes. All through summer, all through fall, and almost into winter. So spring, summer, winter, you know, but that's California. There's a lot of sun out there. But, yeah, anyway, those big green tomatoes. So my point is my dad would grow those tomatoes out there, and I remember him putting some type of, you know, granular thing for slugs. So he must have had some slug issues besides the caterpillars. That was a long time ago. Gosh, I'm 53 and grade school, man. 5th grade, 4th grade. What are you, like 11? 10? 11? Yeah, I think 6th grade is more 12. But, yeah, I think I remember that. Patty the cat finally came home. He's inside. So I read that 2 to 3 weeks before harvesting, you need to stop watering garlic. So I pulled this one from the raised garden bed, which constantly gets watered. I did water it as I put it in. I just didn't want it to be too much of a shock. And then I will not water it for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So as you can see, so this is some of my cabbage here and here. You can see the damage from the caterpillars and snails. And snails, you know, because they always leave snail tracks behind. So, you know, they are the culprit. So it looks like it wants to come, you know, to a head, make its round head like the broccoli does. But it just seems to be producing really big leaves, and I had cut this one back, but it regrew some more leaves along with this one. So I check every day for caterpillars, and if I find them, of course, I take them off. But so they're growing. They're just not producing the cabbage head. But again, it may be a time issue. It may not be anything. It could be something other than the bugs, is what. Kenny's gonna go take the bike on into Aberdeen to get some tools. So I'm now watering Mom's garden. As you can see, it's very abundant. Got some good bees in there. The sun came out. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. Great day for the garden. Okay, so I am in the fairy garden. I'm going to put up the hammock today, and I think I have the trees about as decorated as I want to, with gnomes and fairies. And I need to kind of de-weed the area. I'm going to keep some of the ivy near the tree. I'm going to pull all these holly, and that's some type of natural lettuce. So, and I need to either cut back or remove that fern and place it somewhere else. I did get a new nice bench here. Really cute. Kind of goes with the theme. Kind of that rustic but feminine look. And I put the frogs up. I still have to take this down and refurbish it. I just haven't had the time. So in the meantime, since the squirrel and birds eat from it, I'm just going to leave it. But look how pretty the vines are going up there. I think that really kind of goes with my little fantasy world. I am also going to put a free library over in here somewhere. I plan to make that. I just have to figure out what kind of idea is going to go in my head and what it's going to look like. I'm actually thinking mushroom. I think that would be really cool with the, you know, red and white spotted roof. But I have to see. I also got this little garden fencing. How cute is that? I just had to figure out where I want it, or how far I want it to go. And so, yeah. Anyway, I think that will be it. And then the fairy garden is finished. minus the free library. That'll take me a little while, but the hammock and everything else. And today is just a sunny, gorgeous, beautiful day, so it'd be a good time to try it out. Oh, I think I'm going to make today a little fire pit here too. So right in here, I'm going to clear this out, and I'm going to use these rocks, and I'm going to just make a fake fire pit. And that should look nice. If you have any ideas of what else I could put in the fairy garden or create in the fairy garden, it's not a very big area, but it's always shaded, well shaded. I am going to cut these back, but I'm not going to do it right now in summer because it keeps the area like 10 degrees cooler on the hot days. But you know, there's some dead branches. If some of that's too high, I will have to probably get a tree guy in here. So, and do you think I should cut back this ivy or just leave it be? You know, it's going to die out anyway. So it's only green in the spring and the summer and a little bit of fall. So maybe I'll just leave it. It's not like I'm going to really be using that area. So if I don't keep it, then, you know, I'll want it to look nice. So I'll have to, you know, think of something else to create to put there instead. Anyway, all right, I better get back to work. So I'm recycling some of the old things that the previous owners of the house left behind, like these stepping stones. Saves money and it also recycles. Let's take a look. So I just made a couple openings to the fairy garden. So these are nice. I'm going to hose them down. They're dirty. So that's good. And it'll take us here. And there's also some pebbles on the side of the shed over there. So I'm going to see how many I can get. And then I think I'll go ahead and line the bottom of the ground here for the bench with the leftover rock pebbles that they left behind. Also finished this pathway to the hammock. I have to go get it. It's inside. That's a nice little stepping area. Yeah, that'll do. Gonna have to move this fairy though. Let's put you over here. Oh, that's not gonna work. How about there? Yeah. All right. That's a little inviting. A little intro. All right, coming along. Let me go get those pebbles. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll hose these off first. right, I think that's all I'm going to do on that for now, because some of the other rocks that they had left over is kind of sort of mulched. So it's under stuff that they threw on top. So I'm going to take some time to dig it out, but I'm going to give Kenny a hand, and then I'll be back to finish. Oh, actually to put up the hammock with Kenny. Kenny will give me a hand. So keep watching.